Hi everyone, I'm Ed Verdel with the VIP team at Compass, and I'm excited for today's conversation with my colleague, Aga Sydor. Aga's on the VIP team as well, and she has an interesting background. She's an immigrant from Poland. She had moved to California and then moved over to Manhattan across the country, and more recently has settled in New Jersey with her family on the waterfront in West New York. So Aga joined the team a few years ago in 2020, and since then she's been helping our clients purchase, sell, and rent properties. Today we're going to talk about some recent successes that she's had working with sellers and landlords who have had their properties listed with other agents where they weren't able to have successful results. And we're going to highlight a few examples of these where Aga was able to come in, do some minor changes to a property with minimum spend, and she was able to have great results. And so we're going to highlight a few of these examples locally here in the market. So let's start with 444 Jersey Ave in downtown Jersey City.
Yes, thank you, Ed. So I received a call from my client to take another look at his property since it was sitting on the market already over 200 days and he haven't received any offers. The listing price was $379. I remember because when I started doing the comps, I was like, it kind of sounds right. Mm-hmm. But then I was like, okay, how can we give a fresh look to this unit? And I invited my friend, interior designer Maria from Shoko Design. And with a few minor changes, per her suggestions, we were able to relist it for a higher price and sell the unit within 9 days on the market.
So what price did you then list it for?
So we listed at $439 and higher price, and seller invested just $6,000 to improve this property.
Okay, so just to recap the numbers, it was listed at $379,000 over 200 days on the market.
Correct.
The seller ended up spending $6,000.
Correct.
And then they listed it for $439,000.
Correct.
And you had offers and sold it within 9 days on the market. And what did it sell for at the end?
So it sold at full asking.
Wow.
Although I had few offers, they were at this point very similar, and this was actually the strongest in terms of terms as well of the offer. But the interest was incredible. Like at the open house, I had probably like 15 groups coming in, and everybody was just very impressed how the unit looks.
Wow.
And this was totally opposite impression which we got when we first got into the unit, since unit was actually very unique. It was a duplex, 600 square feet, divided to a living room and bedroom and 2 bathrooms and kitchen. So we really had to be creative how to give a fresh new look to the unit.
The challenge with this one was, I remember because I had shown this property, and I had shown it while it was on the market for the 200 plus days at $379,000. And what I remember is it was a duplex. However, the bedroom level was in the basement. And when a lot of people walk into apartments and they have a bedroom in the basement level, that's a deal killer for them, especially in this case because it had dark tiles and it felt very cold and very dark. So what did you do to kind of brighten up the space? And what did you do to change the mood when you walked in there?
Right. So here was very important to definitely change the mood of the unit. It was very dark, as you mentioned. So first thing, we knew we have to change the floors. Mm-hmm. There were dark tiles, kind of outdated as well. So it was giving automatically that old dark look of the unit. So what we did, we painted the tiles. We painted the kitchen cabinets to bring more light to that bottom unit. Mm-hmm. And then we switch it up, the bedroom from the bottom part of the unit to the top. So we pretty much switch it up, the setup with staging at this point.
Interesting. Okay.
How we presented the unit to new buyers. And this was pretty much big success because it was making more sense, not walking in directly to a bedroom. You were walking into a bright space, nice living room with a bright kitchen, and walking upstairs to your primary bedroom.
Very nice. And so you had great, so it sounds like instead of selling it for probably the mid 300s at that time, which is what they would have to accept when it's been on the market at $379,000, to selling it at $440,000 just about. which is incredible.
Yes, my seller was definitely very happy. And from this unit, we actually did few other projects with the same seller because it happened that he was investor in Jersey City and he owned multiple properties.
Sure, and which brings me to my next one, I believe. So this is 297 Montgomery Street, right in the same neighborhood actually by Van Voorst Park. And again, something that had been on the market previously, wasn't successfully sold. So tell us more about that property.
Yes, so here was another challenge. Unit was occupied by the tenants for the past 5 years. So obviously limited access for showings and maybe making those changes how we did for 44 Jersey Avenue wasn't that easy. But still, after viewing and making few changes, I was able to sell the unit for 100,000 more than previously listed on the market. And also we received the offer actually within 24 days, and it was more because of the showing time with the tenants.
All right, so going back to the numbers, right? So it was listed, if I'm correct, for 650,000.
Yep.
It was on the market for over a month, and you ended up selling it for $749.
Correct.
So $99,000 more.
Correct.
With an investment of how much?
Of $8,000.
$8,000. All right, so tell us more about like the $8,000, how that was used.
Yes, so here was a little bit easier renovation because actually unit was in the prime location with beautiful views of Van Voorst Park. But again, it was quite dark because of the paint color on the walls. So we pretty much just changed the paint color of the walls to nice and bright, different shade of white. Actually, there is like hundreds of shades of whites right now. And then again, paint the kitchen cabinets, and which I feel like it's the biggest return on the investment for sellers when they change the kitchen. Like
if it's dark, they make it lighter.
Correct. So making kitchen light and bright, and then on top of it, the deep cleaning, especially for tenants being there for 5 years with a child. For buyers walking in, it felt outdated, not maybe well organized. So what we did pretty much just painted the walls, painted kitchen cabinets, give a very deep clean to the unit, organized the clutter, and within 24 days, we sold it for $100,000 more.
Amazing, amazing. And then we're going to talk about your most recent example, which is in Hoboken, which is actually going on right now. So this is a condo, 74 Garden Street. This is right downtown, close to the PATH train, very desirable location. And tell us about the history of this one.
So this one is an exciting project because we had to go through 2 steps.
Okay.
First, since it was tenant occupied, we had to help the tenant to find a new place, since my recommendation was to relist the unit empty and with the renovations done. So pretty much last July, unit was on the market for $519, 87 days on the market and no offers.
Okay.
It was also tenant occupied, so we all know that sometimes it's very difficult with showings, with right presentation of a unit.
Sure.
So at this point, I knew we need to show the unit empty. So what we did, I advised to my seller that we gonna find a new rental property to the tenant. Sure. And then once the unit is empty, we can do the renovation per recommendation. And here was very, very exciting project because unit was actually very, very beautiful, but it was very outdated. So just with a new paint, new color of cabinets in the kitchen, new vanity in the bathroom, regrouted the tiles in the bathroom, deep clean, change of the hardware. We at this point, and the multiple offer situation, I cannot disclose the final numbers.
Well, let's just say you listed it at $525. It was on the market for $519, nothing happened. And you listed it at $525, and now you're in a multiple offer situation.
After 4 days on the market.
After 4 days on the market. Unbelievable. Yes. All right, so with that one, how much did the client have to spend?
$2,900.
Wow, under $3,000. Okay, so that's another fantastic success story, and we wish you luck with the rest of closing for that one, and we'll hopefully update you on how that pans out. And the last one I wanted to discuss and bring up is this could even be applied to rentals. Aga has worked with a landlord previously who was in a similar situation. They couldn't rent their property. Aga came in and she was able to spruce up the unit. And let's talk more about that. That's at Society Hill in Jersey City, right?
Right. So the same situation applying for landlords like in sellers, we pretty much need to give new fresh air to the unit. The easiest way to do it is to paint it, change the lighting, potentially, change the kitchen and clean up the bathroom. But with this particular unit, the highest rental in Society Hills at this point was $2,400.
Okay.
And
this is 2-bedroom, 3-bedroom?
This is a 2-bedroom. It's a duplex. It's one of those in the townhouses. Okay. So 24 was the highest number. Then potentially we were aiming for 2,600. But with the renovation house, once they were completed, with my staging, I listed for $3,000, and we got the tenant for $3,000.
Wow. So basically, you beat the highest comp by 20%, if I'm doing
Correct.
the math right on that.
Yes.
And so this was listed previously, right?
This was previously, yes.
At what price?
So previously,
It was listed for rent, and they couldn't rent it, or this was not listed for rent?
well, the lease was expiring of the previous tenant.
The previous tenant was
So
paying $2,400.
he was actually paying $2,350.
Okay.
So obviously we were thinking 24, maybe 26, especially looking at the camps in the complex. But with the renovation and the light staging, which I offer also to my clients, which is more like maybe I would say decoration of a unit. So just few props in the kitchen, in the bathroom, maybe carpets, maybe lighting, and we got $400 more.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yes.
Unbelievable. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but it makes me want to hire Aga. So with that being said, hopefully these few success stories are helpful. Aga has been a phenomenal agent, and you can see why. She does a great job with her clients, both sellers and buyers. And if somebody wants to reach out to you, to get in touch with you, maybe they have a property to list for sale or for rent, what's the best way to reach you?
Yes, I would love to help sellers and landlords. So please reach out to me. Cell phone, the easiest, call or text 646-633-5176, or my Compass email aga.sydor@compass.com.
aga.sydor@compass.com. Aga, thanks very much, and hopefully you're going to get a lot of phone calls from this.
Thank you.